Welcome back to the Final Corner podcast. We've had a few weeks off due to all of us almost dying, but we're back with our BTCC Thruxton review. Tom, Nick, thank you for surviving. Welcome back. How we all doing?
Thank you. We're all pretty crap but good at the same time.
Yeah.
It's really good to be speaking to you both because I know you've both been very ill in the last few weeks. So it's a pleasure and an honour. Looking forward to it.
I wouldn't go that far, but anyway, we've missed Snetterton for the BTCC. We've missed all of F1 basically, but
what can you do?
F1's been getting good recently, to be fair, so we will come back to that at some point. So while we were off, we had Snetterton, which saw the triumphant return of Bobby Thompson, which we're all excited about, and we also saw Rob Huff get his first win back since he's returned to the championship. So it was a great weekend. Bobby Thompson's gone already from Thruxton, so it was a fleeting visit back, which is a shame because he came back and did exceptionally well.
Yeah, I mean, second in his first race back. It was how do you even manage that in a car when you just smashed Adam Morgan?
Yeah.
It wasn't to be.
First time in rear-wheel drive touring car as well, which is not so easy to adapt based on past precedents. But he smashed it. At a very distinctive car with some strong backing. We're not going to speculate as to what happened there, but clearly there was no money forthcoming for Thruxton. That much is true. And I went on the Zeus Cloud, which I think was the sponsor website, when they announced it, and I went, this is a load of mumbo jumbo, and that's just me being ignorant to what they were offering as a tech firm. But I did immediately think, this is not aligning with the ITV or daytime audience, because it's all about B2B tech solutions. I hate the word solutions, but and again, no idea if that's to do with any of this at all, but I was a little concerned initially. It's very easy to say in the after, with hindsight's a wonderful thing, that you need, like, the other cars are sponsored by car part related things, so they can go, motorsport. And in the past, it's been like brands that appeal to your daytime family audience, and that was neither of those.
Yeah, it was very disappointing, wasn't it? It's,
very.
I know what you mean, because it was like a one brand sponsorship as well, wasn't it? There was
very
little other sponsorship on the car.
So maybe that leaves you open to the odd. We've got this IT service management company, but if they then go, the results were as expected. I'm not saying anything malicious there. Who knows what's happened?
No, exactly.
But you are a bit vulnerable. I mean, even Napa, with its well-funded thing, has Cataclean as a sponsor as well, right? Through Dan Robum's connections, right? And you've got the Bristol Street Motors Hyundais, but they've also got a slew of other sponsors and partners as examples.
But so hopefully he can make it back onto the grid at some point this year.
It's not over, and it would be amazing because he can really shake up the order, and his performance at Snetterton was phenomenal. And obviously the second and third races there was weather going on there and tyre choice stuff. But it's not like he put it in the wall or anything, even in uncertain conditions. So hats off. Yeah, worthy addition to the grid. A bit of a shame.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. I should point out as well, in the interest of Sumpton Watch, that he got some more points at Snetterton.
He did.
What was it? I believe he got 11th. Yeah, he got 11th in race 2. So he got a nice little lump of points for that one.
I forget now, was there some weather going on there? Yes.
Definitely.
He was on the wets, wasn't he? And we saw even Ash Sutton bin it.
Yes. I mean, 11th does sound good, but he was the last of the wet runners. But, he still kept it on track.
Yeah, this was the one where Aaron Taylor-Smith, we were like, could he... He was the first of the slick shod cars, right? Could he win it? Could he win? No, he can't. And it was Rob Huff versus Chris Smiley all the way through, and Smiley got the better of him. That was entertaining.
It was good to see Huff get his win.
Yes.
At the same track he got his last win 20 odd years ago.
Yeah, and when he got that win, I seem to remember he had a lightning start off the grid. Maybe started, my memory fails, but 4th, 5th or 6th. I think he took the lead from the start. It was like a BMW style start, even though it was a front wheel drive Seat Toledo. And this is albeit a reverse grid when I thought, oh, you can really push on from there. But Thruxton didn't really work out.
Mm.
No. So, Thruxton this weekend, just gone past. Tom Ingram changed his number, which confused me. So he was number 100 because it was his 100th race for Bristol Street Motors, wasn't it?
It was. And it's the centenary of Bristol Street Motors this year.
Ah, well, there you go then. That ties in. If we were in Australia, there would be a limited edition scale model made of that because they love them. But no one has come up with a deal or wants to make scale model BTCC cars, which, apart from Scale Electrics, which are great, but I would love to buy some static BTC stuff. And yeah, this will be an extra cash cow for that. Don't know why I'm going down this tangent. Moving on, quick, please.
I'm just looking at the scale model Fiat Punto or whatever you've got behind you at the moment.
This is exactly what I was looking at as well.
Fiat Punto is your guess. Anyone? Any advances on that?
It's not a Punto because I had a Punto. I know it's not a Punto.
It is a 1993 Renault Twingo.
Weapon.
Which we never got in the UK. If you go to France, you still see them everywhere. And I got this from the what's the famous street that runs up to Champs-Élysées? Is it just called Champs-Élysées? In Paris?
No idea.
Yes, the Champs-Élysées is a street that runs up to the Arc de Triomphe. So on the Champs-Élysées, there was a Renault shop. I was like, that's random as hell. And I bought a Renault Twingo. Right, we really should move on, because this is an audio format.
Yes. So, turn cars. Things. Sutton came in leading, so his hybrid boost was restricted.
But, just quickly to interject, had not won a race yet, which staggered me. Yep.
He was doing the Turkington.
Yes.
Just consistent. He hasn't blown anyone away so far until race 3 came around this week. But
yeah, correct.
Result of qualifying was Ingram, Camish, Hill, Rowbottom, Sutton, Chilton, Pearson. So a Napa dominated top part. In fact, actually, the Bristol Street Motors had a couple of cars in there.
Yeah, I copied this off of the BTC website quickly earlier. I'm not sure why there's 7 people in the quick 6 according to this.
Yeah, it says NS Ronan Pearson. So
Ronan Pearson didn't start qualifying.
Yeah, that was it.
He was in a pit lane and he was pushed around on some technical malady, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know why they put it there.
Yeah. So I've misread it. So yeah. So there was two Bristol Street cars on the top and then a Napa dominance basically.
Mm-hmm.
And Ash Sutton was the slowest out of them all.
But had fewer boost allocations.
Yes.
I wish they would stop talking about it during the race.
It's a bit much, isn't
it? It's starting to really annoy me that they're just constantly talking about boost and who's got what. And I know it's important for the racing this year, but I'd wish that they would just. I would just wish the commentators would leave it alone for a wee while.
Yeah, or just calm it down a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. The balance is just mention it less often.
Yeah. Talk about the racing. Talk about the boost.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to mention about qualifying. I don't know if either of you saw it, but Aaron Taylor-Smith.
Oh yes.
Thumped the tyres. It was a heavy hit, and ripped a left rear wheel off, but managed to drag it back round, potentially ruining some other people's laps, so that wasn't clear. At the end of what do we call it? Part 2? I was going to say Q2.
Yes, qualifying part 2.
So his time was quick enough to get to the next section, so he wasn't ready in time. Oh no, sorry, it was in part 1.
Yeah, sorry, part 1, group 2. That's it.
That's it. Yeah, blah blah blah, which was 4th quickest. And by the way, group 1 was really difficult this time.
Yeah,
Huff was knocked out then in 7th, because it was Camish, Ingram, Cook, Morgan, Sutton, Watson, Huff, all in the same group.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he smashed off the left rear wheel, got it back, and then it valiantly managed to fix it for part 2. And towards the end, I thought, ooh, he might actually do okay here, but just couldn't quite string the lap together. I'm not sure it was in a straight line, the car, to be honest.
No, but it was well done for him and the team. Well, maybe not so well done for him, because maybe he shouldn't have taken it back, but if he had caused a red flag, he'd have been excluded.
Very true. Yes, he had a wobble out Noble, locked it up, and smashed the barrier at Goodwood. But also I thought was interesting was normally in a front wheel drive car, when you lose it, you floor the throttle. But I think if you do it in that particular instance, you could just hit the barrier
dead on.
harder. Yeah, I think Butcher and Shedden butted that in recent years in the early laps of the race.
Mm-hmm.
So he just sort of slammed on the brakes and it just sort of pirouetted into the barriers and just ripped off one corner, which was fortuitous in the end.
Yeah, 10 minutes to replace an entire suspension and wheel.
Mad.
It's not bad.
And without to put it, and they couldn't put it on a patch, could they, to align it? So it just wang it on and go.
Pretty much.
But it was heroic. Yeah, love it.
So we got to the race. Ingram was on pole and immediately threw it all away. He got an absolutely terrible start, and Jake Hill launches the rear-wheel drive and takes the lead. And then you've got a gaggle of the Napas just then assaulting Ingram.
As per was the weekend. Yeah. At the start, yes, there's potentially a rear-wheel drive advantage again, because I think in recent years, didn't they rewind on some of the effects? The things to put them back a bit at the starts, but Ingram does get a bad start. Like, relative to the other front-wheel drive cars, he gets swamped still. So,
and to be fair to him, in his post-race interviews, he did say, "I did a terrible start."
Wow, that's good. But yeah, the battling was fervent, and those Napas are so impressive. They're such an impressive team.
It was good that they didn't just let Sutton go through.
Yes,
and they were
I was
fighting.
relieved.
They were fighting him, so they're clearly not. Although you could argue that in race 3, he wasn't challenged by his teammate for the win. At least
That's
in
true.
these races, there was a fight between them, and it wasn't just let Ash go.
Yeah,
exactly that.
We did get a safety car because there was it Toyota? Andrew Watson
it was.
rammed the tyre barrier at the last chicane, which sent the commentators into a frenzy.
Ooh, Tim did not like that.
No.
Tim Harvey was raging. So the tyres had to get put back into place, which had to happen under a safety car. Why is there tyres there?
Oh, it's track limit debates, isn't it?
It is.
Because we're stricter on track limits now. There's a tyre stack there to try and prevent it. I mean, I wouldn't mind a sausage curb, but then you've got single seaters going around, and that doesn't work for them. Yeah.
I know, it does seem a silly way to do it, but what is better is the question. So,
I would put grass up until the edge of the curb.
well, yeah.
But yeah, I know Tim rightfully has the rants. Just wait until we get to Croft at the back. If that's tyre bundles, or just, I don't know, but you'd have to sort of redesign the curb in a bit, and maybe that's very expensive. So
Yeah, I should think so.
tyre bundles it is. Real.
It's not an MSV track either, I don't think. So
Nope.
I thought Tim Harvey had a go at them.
Well, he might have done,
Probably,
but the
yeah.
track.
Oh, all right, okay. He had a go at someone, the circuit owners. I thought he had said MSV.
I thought he said MSUK maybe.
Oh, maybe. Yeah,
Maybe,
yeah.
which
You
must be
may be right. But he had a go at
That could be
someone.
wrong. Yeah, definitely.
So off the restart, Hill nails it and goes on to win this race fairly comfortably. He was pulling out a gap before the safety car anyway. But we did see the Kidderminster kerfuffle or whatever we called it. The Swindon Shuffle or whatever it was.
Yeah,
No,
the
kerfuffle
did come along, but it wasn't until race 3, I think, until it really appeared.
Yeah.
Depends what we're calling it. Are we calling it through Campbell Cobb Seagrave or around the outside of the final chicane?
Oh, no, definitely the Campbell Cobb Seagrave. That's where it was.
Yeah, there was a lot of that. There was going on, race 3. I love it. Because if you go around the outside of Campbell and into Cobb, that's the Swedish shuffle.
Swedish, not Swindon.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go Seagrave, we're naming it the Kidderminster Kerfuffle because Rowbottom did a lot of that last couple of seasons.
Yeah.
And this year, well, in race 3, Aston perfected that. It really amazing one on Adam Morgan.
There wasn't much in the early races, really.
No.
No.
Race 1 was quite dry.
Yeah, they got a battle with
that's true.
Rowbottom and Chilton, and the former King of Thruxton, I think now, Josh Cook.
Ooh, shall we touch upon that now? I was very disappointed by his and the team's performance this weekend, but it could be that particular package round Thruxton. I'm not saying they've done a bad job,
No,
but you go in there with expectations of, his championship charge is happening now, and he just, because everyone else was really consistent and quick, I think he fell further away from the championship fight.
it wasn't. The point was made that he's always been quick at Thruxton in a Honda.
Yes.
He hasn't ever really been massively quick in anything else. He's not driven that much else, but
Yeah, I could be wrong here, but visually it looks like the Honda has a longer wheelbase.
mm-hmm.
I don't know if that helps, and it seems a bit squatter. But I'd have
I'll
to look at the
measure it
stats.
if you want.
Oh yeah, you've got that model.
Yeah.
It's weird not seeing that on the grid this year.
Yeah.
So, and also he's just getting used to the Speedworks operation, and they've recently expanded, and he was the best of that car
Oh yeah,
all weekend.
definitely.
Yeah. So, well, Tom Chilton dropped away a bit. Adam Morgan got past him. It was a bit of midfield fighting. Aidan Moffat had the camera on him this week, so we got to see some of his fights in the midfield with Mikey Doval.
That was the main focus, really, of the race.
Pretty much was.
Yeah, and then we saw him crash later on and spinning off, which was semi-entertaining because we got the onboard car of it. That was race 3, I think.
Aye.
Mm-hmm.
I might be wrong. Yeah, so Ingram then makes a move on Ash Sutton. Was it race 2 he got disqualified? It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, we'll
Yes.
touch upon that in a bit.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because they did fight Sutton in this one, but couldn't really get him. Scott Sumpton gets meatballed.
Yeah. That
And
was pretty much the end of his race.
yeah, and then Andrew Watson managed to get past Aidan Moffat at is it the penultimate Goodwood's? Not the penultimate corner, is it?
Goodwood's the one before Church.
Yes.
So the other fast right-hander.
Yeah. We should have done the track guide first so I could remember it. But that was basically it, race 1. There wasn't much. Hill,
There's a little
Cameron,
something.
Sutton, top 3.
Yep, sorry for interrupting. At the safety car restart, Rowbottom got an overlap, and he was penalised 2 positions in the race.
Yes.
He was, yeah. Chilton
But-
got put past him back front of him, didn't he?
I'm watching it now because all 3 races are in one long hour and 25-minute video on the ITV Sport YouTube channel. So people who weren't able to view the races on ITV, you can watch it on YouTube worldwide, which is phenomenal. It's tricky because it's not like he's got an overlap coming out of the last corner.
Mm.
I don't think he's actually got an overlap properly. I mean, I've freeze from it there, and he's pulled out, but he's not properly alongside until just before the start-finish line.
Yeah, and I'm not sure what the rules are on that.
And he doesn't overtake until the first corner.
Yeah, because for instance in F1 you can be alongside if you're ever so slightly behind. You can be alongside, but in BTCC are you just not allowed any overlap until you've crossed the finish line?
It has to be, otherwise that is not a penalty.
Mm.
Just completely. He's completely line astern through the final corner. Yeah, I think he's just reacting quicker to the start. Actually, Chilton's very slow at the start as well. There's 3 car lengths to Ingram in front of him. So it seems a bit of a weird one. If those are rules, then we've got to stick to the rules. That's fine.
Yeah.
But just thought that was worthy of attention.
Yeah, so that dropped him back down behind Chilton. So he finished 7th, I think, in the end.
And we should also say that I thought after the first 3 rounds, especially with challenges at Brands Hatch with his steering failing, Hill might have been out of this championship, even though it was early days. But
Yeah.
amazing results at Snetterton, and this first race at Thruxton put him back right in contention, right at the top.
Race 2?
Yep.
Sumpton retired, so no joy for him.
Yeah, sadly.
So we get Jake Hill starting on pole, gets a good start. Ingram starting, I think, 4th in this one. Ends up winning, but off the start, there's like another fight between the Fords. Cameron
There
was
is.
side by side towards the chicane, and this becomes a race-deciding move. Ingram's on the inside for the first part of the chicane after going around the long right-hander on the outside. Driving towards the tyres, he decides to bail out, cut the chicane, but crucially takes a position and doesn't give it back. Camish is then pretty quickly overtaken by Josh Cook. Which
I was very annoyed at this point.
Yep, me too.
So I think it ends up, because he doesn't give the position back, he's demoted from what would be a race win. Are we all in agreement that was fair?
Yes, I am.
Mm.
And I don't know why he didn't give it back at the beginning of the race. He could have fought back.
It's lap 1.
Yeah. Yeah, last lap I can sort of see maybe, or last few laps, but there didn't seem to be any need for it. But he was adamant he did nothing wrong.
Yeah, they
really?
kept talking
I didn't
about
see that.
this agreement that if you have a significant overlap, then you get basically you get to take the position. But as Jade Edwards explained in the post race, that's a fair enough agreement between the drivers for any other corner.
Yeah,
But this is a chicane that goes right, left, right. So if you've got an overlap on one part of it, the other guy's got the overlap for the next part. So that agreement kind of goes out the window. And the only one of the two drivers there actually made the corner, and it wasn't Tom Ingram.
Yeah. And as Tim Harvey kept saying as well, that Camish left room for Ingram. So that's what compromised Camish and let Cook get through as well.
I am enjoying Jade Edwards' contributions to the broadcasts.
Yes, I
I
agree
prefer
with
to
that.
see it behind the wheel, but yeah, it's relevant recent racing knowledge of the championship. And I would say in this scenario, even not that it matters in the rules, but Ingram isn't ahead either. He's alongside, but he's not even ahead as a turn in. And Camish then does kind of mess up the second part of the chicane, but probably only because he's slightly offline because of some Ingram rubbing. I mean, Ingram can't give it back really as soon as Cook gets past Camish. That is tricky, right? How do you do that?
It
when
is,
there's a car
but
between you?
I think the team at that point should be telling him, give the position to Cook and Camish. And
But
you then got the option to try and fight back again.
yeah, and also he just there's not even a second of a hesitation, is there? He just keeps it pinned.
Yeah, exactly. He
And
doesn't even
he's long gone. Yeah.
like, let the gap close back up. He's made maybe like half a second from jumping through it.
Plato did this at the, I think, 2007 season finale at Thruxton. He kept cutting the chicane and getting away with it. Slightly different. I think they're more lenient when it's championship deciding.
Well,
Yeah.
Jason did teach Tom everything he knew. So.
Well,
This is
yeah,
true.
exactly.
But the other thing as well with this is that Camish actually got past Cook again the following lap.
Yeah.
So at that point, he could have let Camish through and still only lost one place.
Yeah, very true. But by then, the gap between third and fourth was quite lengthy. Well, I imagine it did close up a bit.
Yeah, there was 15 laps essentially after, or 14 laps or whatever, after the incident for him to sort it on track.
Mm.
And as you say, Tom was quick in this race, so he would have probably got him back anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I suppose you don't know how quick your relative pace is at the time, but yeah, it's a mistake, isn't it, in hindsight? Massive. And I agree with the penalty.
Yeah. So you had then Ash Sutton chasing down Jake Hill, and it looked at this point Hill had the pace. We then get Andrew Watson off at Allard, which doesn't bring out a safety car. I was a wee bit surprised at that.
Also, we don't see a replay, right?
No, you see it in the background
Yeah.
of him spinning off, but you don't see what caused it or why, I think.
And the car's damaged at the back, so maybe he's clipped a wall and it's speared into the grass.
I got the impression that he ran wide at Allard into the wall, which then bounced him back.
Oh, yeah, you might be right. Yep.
But I don't know.
Who knows? We'll paint the picture.
Yeah. So I was surprised you've got a car line there that they didn't do anything to remove it, but you know, I'm not Marshall or a race director or whatever they're called.
No, I always think though, if a car's ended up there, another one can end up there.
Exactly.
I always think that. Yep.
Yeah, if he's managed that on his own, Nick Halstead will find a way to do it as well.
I'll come to him later.
Yeah.
I still don't know what happened, but yeah, we'll get there. So Ash Sutton is closing down on Jake Hill, apparently closing down too quickly because I think he hits the back of him, which then causes the splitter
Correct.
to drop off. But he would have failed a right-hand check, surely, but he ends up finishing outside the podium.
Oh, yeah, so it's irrelevant.
Yeah, that's a
good point.
Yeah.
He finished 5th, but I'm pretty sure they only checked the top 3.
Yeah, right. Well,
So-
that's our assumption based on last year. Yeah.
Yeah, they only seem to check the top. I might be wrong, but they only seem to do the top 3 because it's always the top 3 that get excluded.
Yeah.
So he got 5th at a bunch of points where clearly the front of the car was dragging on the floor.
It doesn't. Peter Riches has only got so much time, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Is that what it's called?
So
Yeah, I think so.
Sutton loses a bunch of pace. He almost loses it at one point through one of the right-handers. He goes over the curb and he has to save it.
Just goes to show how aero-dependent the current crop of cars are.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you're right, yeah, because without replaying it looking back, you'd assume he clips the tyres. But if you look at the start of lap 2, as they go through Campbell, the right-hander is close behind Hill, and there's a clear shot of it looking perfect. And then you don't see him, and then as they come out of Seagrave, it's damaged. So at Cobb, I think he's driven in the back of Hill.
Yeah, and Hill did mention post-race he got a big whack from Ash in the back.
Aha. That's when it is. Lap 2 then in the complex. Yeah.
Yeah, so Ash ends up losing the position to Camish and drops back to finish, and eventually finishing 5th, which fair enough.
It was amazing.
Did well to finish 5th, but yeah, I'm not sure his car got checked at the end. So he loses out, which is a perfect opportunity for Hill and Ingram to make inroads on him in the championship. Ingram then overtakes Hill towards Church, gets a really good run on him, overlap, gets past.
Interesting.
But there's not a yellow flag, there's a yellow light.
No, there's a yellow light. And I'm still not sure what happened with that, because as they pointed out in commentary, there was no green light or flag afterwards. So did that actually happen? Or was it supposed to be there? But
there's certainly nothing on the track or around the track. So.
No.
But even if it's displayed incorrectly, it's still displayed.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. As a driver, you have to assume that is a yellow flag zone, right?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
And
if
you
you
don't see a green, it's still yellow, isn't it? It's like it's like on the road. You go through roadworks until you see another sign, you're technically still under the roadwork speed limit.
Yeah. What's weird is it's there for the couple of laps before that, at least, as well.
Oh, I hadn't noticed that.
Well, I've only just noticed it now. I'm on lap 7 and it's there. Definitely there on an onboard. And he does the pass lap 8.
He does. And I'm pretty sure he eases off on the way into church, that they both do. And he then completes.
It's on the way out, isn't it?
Afterwards. So it wasn't technically under the yellow flag, but as Colin said, you're still under a yellow flag till you hit a green.
It's weird. The rest of the race, there isn't a shot of that.
Yeah.
The right angle to see it.
It's like it was on by accident, but if it's on, it's on.
Yeah, it might have been on for the whole race, but they might have been briefed beforehand. But then you shouldn't run the race if it's broken. It's kind of a weird one.
It is, yeah, and it wasn't really mentioned again.
No, which suspects to me conspiracy tin-foil hat time was swept under the carpet because someone had made a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
What do I know? Oh no, it's off again by lap 12. So shouldn't have done the move. Yep.
Is it the BARC that posts all the?
Yes,
it is.
The notices. Yep.
Oh, I don't know where it is on the website.
Well, there's nothing about anyone being punished for overtaking the yellows or anything like that.
Yeah, which it was on camera and the commentators picked up on it. I was like, that's a yellow. But yeah, there was nothing after the race. So he's either got away with one or they've just said, that was a mistake. We'll ignore it.
Yeah, it must be the latter.
I just don't see how you can ignore a yellow whiteboard. But
feel uneasy about that.
Yeah.
So Ingram takes the lead and eventually takes it on track win. Turkington, who I didn't even notice in race 1, to be honest.
No.
Well, he qualified reasonably averagely.
Yeah, then starts making moves to eventually finish up in 7th. Aaron Moffat and Mikey Doble are then fighting again. We get the onboard shot of Aaron Moffat's car, where, as Nick notes in here, you can hear him hit the limiter before they get to the corner. And Doble takes a position very easily.
I don't know what the rules are with gear ratios. We should look that up because even without the boost, if they've got a similar top speed, Doble wouldn't be able to go past, would he? Because there was a shot earlier, it might have been race 1, we're on board with Ingram, and he's boosting, he's catching up. It might be when he tried to get past Sutton and couldn't. He gets alongside and then he hits the limiter. And clearly then they're both travelling at the same speed.
Yeah, I don't know if they have to set it for the season or if it's for the or what. I have no idea.
Could be that the Astros have just got a longer top end. Well, they must have done.
Yeah.
And that could have inhibited Cook's progress for all we know, especially in race 3 where he seemed to lose.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Huffy then makes a move and Tom Chilton jumps the chicane but gives the position back and avoids a penalty for himself.
Yep.
Dan Rowbottom Exactly. Dan Rowbottom then passed his teammate, Ash Sutton, which looked like Sutton had kind of let him go, but he still gave him half work for it. And then at the end of the race, Rob Huff manages to take the position on track from Chilton for 10th. And that was really it for race 2.
Yeah, the other thing was Scott Sumpton actually finished this race. But yeah, not in the points.
Nick Halstead, I did finish this one. The next one he didn't.
I felt like the gap between Halstead and the rest of the field was bigger this round.
Yeah, well, he missed a few races at Snetterton. Well, didn't he? He was ill.
Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah, he was out for race 1, and then that was it.
Ah, yes, I'd forgotten about
that. Did Ronan Pearson get a penalty in this one?
Next one. Oh yes, no, he did. He did. He gave an advantage over the chicane against Ada Moffat.
All right, so he must have done a Ingram.
One place penalty.
So. Yep. Fair enough. I do like
that they accelerated it.
Yeah, I do like that they redress the positions in BTCC. Rather than just giving someone a 5-second penalty that they immediately pull out anyway. So on to race 3. Who started in pole? Was it Ash Sutton? No. What number did they pull out? Was it 8?
It was Adam Morgan.
Yeah. So it was Morgan on pole with Turkington 2nd. Sutton started this one in 4th. Sutton gets a rubbish start though. Drops behind his teammates. Turkington gets away fairly well, but Josh Cook manages to take 2nd position off of him. And then Dan Rowbottom gets punted off through Seagrave and ends up into the barriers. He gets it going though, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
Has a puncher though, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Who hit him?
Turkington.
But it's a bit of...
Yeah.
He's kind of going in a straight line, although he does sort of jink right a bit. Rowbottom goes left and they meet in the middle.
Yeah, I'd call that one a racing incident.
I agree. It's happened before there. I seem to remember the same thing happening to Gordon Shedden. Maybe 10 years ago now. And even further back, Frank Beeler in either 96 or 97. exact same thing where they merge, because you can do multiple different lines there, they sort of merge and one car spears off to their left.
He was attempting the kerfuffle on someone else. Turkington just clipped him.
Yeah, unfortunate, but
Rowbottom doesn't have much walk, does he?
Well, he's plenty, but it's all bad.
Of the 3, let's say, sharp-end running Napa cars, he's always the one that sort of fares the worst, generally speaking. Although Camish, mind you. No, we're just saying that Sutton's actually got all that team's good vibes.
I'm just laughing because you yawned as you said that and you sounded like Sloth from the Goonies.
I'm very tired.
We'll rattle through this, don't worry. So Turkington loses positions to Camish, then Ash Sutton manages to get him as well. Hill and Ingram had a good fight.
Yes.
Towards Noble.
England tried the Swedish Shuffle and Hill saw it coming and had none of it.
Yep.
And that didn't allow Taylor Smith through. And I thought, here we go, Astra podium.
Yeah, because they're riding on board and all of a sudden an Astra just went flying past it about 20 miles an hour faster.
It was such a difference in speed. Yeah. He must have got a run and hit the boost.
Yeah. He didn't stay there long, but he got past at one point.
If he had such a good run and he used the boost, he didn't actually need to use the assistance then. He could have saved it for another time, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Yeah. But Taylor Smith's doing great now. He's top of the independents.
All 4 independents.
5. It's 5.
Yeah, that's true.
So
no, I'm only messing. He rejuvenated after last year, isn't he?
Yeah.
So he's doing quite well. Aidan Moffat then makes a comical error, trying to go past Chilton, moves across, gets a wee bump, and ends up spinning about 8 times.
Yeah.
Across the grass, which again, a man that doesn't have much luck, but that I think he misjudged that.
Yeah, it was only a tiny amount, but at a track like Thruxton, you've got to be sure you can move across.
Yeah, you don't want a narrow line going through church because you compromise the exit. I think that's well. I don't want to speak for him, but that would be my guess at his thinking there. But it just mistimed it.
It's quite funny at a track like Thruxton though, because there's so much space on outside some of the corners that when you do go off, you're off forever.
Yes.
Like, you're just lost to the fields.
But thank goodness they really reprofiled
Yes.
that runoff area in the recent sort of 5-6 years. Because
before that, you were in the trees, wasn't you?
You went to the trees. Simon Belcher and Ollie Jackson.
Yep.
They both went in there, didn't they? Was that a qualifying session?
I think Simon Belcher's still in there. I haven't seen him since.
Yeah. Never to be seen again. Yeah, so it's been much improved. And then actually Taylor Smith, they added some gravel on a barrier then in front of the trees. But then I think Taylor Smith and maybe was it Dan Lloyd, when they were both in MGs, they had a massive shunt. And now it's just this sort of banked grass area that goes on forever, and it's much improved. Yeah, because no harm done.
Yeah. Ash Sutton's on a flyer, passes his teammate into the chicane, and is now fighting for the lead. Got a second kerfuffle as Tom Ingram gets past Aaron Taylor Smith again.
Yep.
Rob Huff then gets past Chilton, which they kept talking about the World Touring Car Championship.
Yes.
One reference was fine, but
yeah, he got a bit much.
Four was a bit much.
Yeah. The guys are getting a bit of the David Croft about them at the moment. So I hope they listen and take on positive feedback.
Yeah, no, we love them as well. Just to be clear.
Yeah. Whereas if I was talking about David Croft, I'd just be calling him so.
By the way, I watched Formula One live at the weekend, and what the heck was he smoking? I can't remember the example now, but someone went wide, and he was like, and that was the 37th time they've run wide in these Mercedes colours, and I was like, what the?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm exaggerating, but the stats drove me insane.
He was
completely pointless.
Excessively bad in Canada. Like, it was really actually hurting me because I was really enjoying the race and I almost had to put the sound off.
I blanked from my memory the specific examples that really irritated me, but
yeah,
there was a moment where Lisa was, but before my prejudice was involved, she just went, "What's this guy talking about?"
Yes.
The one race he had off, was it Imola or something? He had a race off.
Was it Harry Benjamin that filled in?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he did quite well. And it's so annoying now because you then hear, is it the Channel 4 commentary or the...
Oh, which is way better in my opinion.
It's so much better. Like there's someone done a comparison video of Norris's win.
Oh, really?
Where Crofty made a Donald Trump pun because Trump was in the garage, but then the official F1 feed and Channel 4 commentary was like exceptional. And then they done a commentary as well, a comparison between Leclerc's win at Monaco, the final lap, where the official F1 guy,
Alex Jakes.
Yeah, he does an incredible 2-minute soliloquy about his life and about Jules Bianchi and his dad.
Yes. Yeah.
It's amazing. And then you cut to the Sky F1 feed where it's David Croft making absolutely terrible puns about his mum being a hairdresser.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's... Straight to life it to be that man. I really don't like him.
It does me. And just to top it all off as well, if you did watch the Sky broadcast for Canada, they also had the lovely double team of Danica Patrick and Jacques Villeneuve on the pundits.
Now, I didn't watch any of the punditry, thank goodness.
No, I fast-forwarded most of it. But...
I remembered one thing that Croft annoyed me about. He kept trying to squeeze in Euro 2024 references. And I'm thinking, that's a week too early, mate.
Yeah, just crowbar it in.
Yeah. But they're in Spain at the next race or whatever. I was like, that's the time to be doing them. I actually quite liked Villeneuve in that weekend because he was going in 2-footed on everyone.
Yeah,
like he was not holding back, and Danica Patrick just looked lost, as she always seems to be.
Villeneuve went full Daily Telegraph, didn't he?
He did. It just annoys me.
And that's been his role for a while, but
fair,
I don't like him as a pundit.
Someone called him out as well. Was it Fred Vasseur when they interviewed him? He just said,
really?
He said something back to Villeneuve. I can't remember about. Well, you would know about that more than me. I can't remember.
I like Fred.
Yeah.
The problem with Villeneuve this weekend, I was actually agreeing with him.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, well, his Ricardo spiel was quite, pertinent.
yeah.
And then didn't Ricardo call him a name in response? And then Villeneuve was like, "Well, I've said something critical, and you've just come back with a name calling."
Yeah, he told him to eat shit on,
Right.
on his Sky interview. But I think he went in on who's the crap guy for Williams? Sargent.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He went in on him as well, which again I was agreeing with him. So it was normally it would annoy me, but I thought he was right. And Ted was exceptionally rubbish.
Yeah. The whole broadcast was a bit meh.
Sky needs an overhaul.
Well, for me, it's like you pay extra for that, so that's why I don't.
Yeah, I'm paying for it to be able to watch races live to get that channel, and I just think Sky's coverage just went so far down.
We probably should talk about race 3 touring cars that we're halfway through.
Thought about that.
Oh, we're still doing that. All right.
Yeah, there was some kerfuffles or something.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Ingham done a kerfuffle. Tom Chilton then pulled over with some sort of issue.
Wow, he's had a bad season with mechanical stuff.
He has.
Even though he's signed for next year for that team already.
Oh, yes?
Yes.
His actual performances have been fine this year.
Yeah, I agree, yeah. Step forward.
It's just the car's falling to bits.
Got Barry Plowman as the engineer.
Yeah, he's had his best season so far since the scheduled weekdays for me.
Yeah, because he finished third one of those seasons.
Mm-hmm.
In the championship. Easy to forget that.
Yeah. Sutton put a good move on Josh Cook. His old mate.
Ooh, was it a good
compromised
move?
Cook.
I think it was, but it was borderline.
It was borderline as they come, I thought. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, come on. It's very rude. Very rude. And if I was Cook, I'd, I don't know, unfollow him on Twitter or something.
Yeah. Would you race harder knowing it was your mate, or would you back off?
Nah, it's got to be harder, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got to be
Yeah.
hard. I remember there was one year where Cook was driving an Astra, and I think it was season finale, and Sutton was in the Subaru, and they really went at it, and it was a fantastic race. And I think Cook was trying to hold on with some bent suspension.
Yeah.
So you've got to give what you get, and yeah, it was just, that was the beginning of the end for Cook's race, though, because was it then Camish had a run with hybrid at the same time?
Yeah.
Got past him. And then didn't Turkington or someone get past him straight away after
Yeah,
that?
Camish and Turkington both got through.
When I saw the reverse grid draw, I thought, right, well, Morgan's going to lead and Cook's going to win.
Yeah. And then
I
to
was
top
wrong.
it off, the following lap, we had Ingram and Hill doing a Schumacher and Hakkinen.
Yeah.
Oh,
perfect
yes.
pass.
Great reference.
Yes.
But again, it leads me to think, was the Toyota on the rev limiter there ahead of the other cars? Not sure.
Yeah, it's very clear at this point now that even though Adam Morgan's leading, he's got no chance of winning this race.
Yeah.
Is it bad that we think that way?
Oh no, it was just a queue following him so close. Like, you're
Oh,
like,
right,
you have
just-
no
just me then.
chance, mate. Yeah. Oh, Morgan's a great race-free driver. It's just on this race you could tell immediately. I was like, you have no chance, pal.
Yeah.
It gave it a bash, though, didn't it, at least?
He did. But Sutton eventually got him.
With a perfect Kidderminster kerfuffle. And
Yes.
really, it should be renamed something else, which I'm not clever enough to think of right now, in honour of Ash Sutton. But
Yeah.
Well, the dive into the right-hander was brave. It was well measured. It carried the speed on the exit.
yeah.
And he didn't run anywhere near him, so it wasn't like he chucked up the inside and battered his way
No.
through. He judged it perfectly.
It's a very skillful move that unfortunately makes Adam Morgan look like he went, come on through!
Yeah. Because it is one of those, isn't it, where, and I think that's why it's always been quite a bold move, is it doesn't make sense in some ways because you're so much slower out of the corner into an
Yes.
area where you need a lot of speed. But you get that block on the other car if you do it correctly, which slows them up as well.
Yeah.
So
It was really judged to perfection.
I was trying to see where Ash Sutton's from, see if there's an equivalent to Kidderminster kerfuffle, but he's from
Essex, isn't it?
Bishop Stortford. Which I don't know
Is
where
that new?
is.
That's near Nick somewhere, isn't it?
ish. I don't know. I know the name.
Well,
I've
it's
got no idea where it is.
Closer than Leeds.
Yeah.
Hertfordshire, wherever Hertfordshire is. But
Oh, yeah,
he's
that's
from
not
Bishop
too close.
Stortford. So I can't think of any clever puns from that, unfortunately.
No.
No.
The Stortford switch? I don't know. Moving on.
And the Bishop's bollocking.
Definitely moving on.
Who's editing?
Oh, don't worry, I've got a C word to cut out.
I know, that's what I was thinking.
I'll do this one.
Yeah, you said it.
So then we'll get we got a safety car for Cheltenham car?
We did, but 2 laps
Very
after
delayed.
he stopped, which was...
Yes.
I was trying to think, looking at your notes there, was there another reason that the safety car came out? There was a while between them.
Yeah,
No, this is what Americans call competition caution.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
time for ITV to put an ad break in there, which weirdly, if you watch the race on YouTube, is still in the cut.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I noticed that. Watch it. Yeah, they were quick to cut bits of it out, but not the adverts. Oh dear. But yeah, the restart perfectly judged by Ash Sutton and Dan Camish was here on board of him basically flagging to Ash that he wasn't going to challenge him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. So makes sense. Would like to see him have a ding dong, but second is good for Camish after a tumultuous start, isn't it? So I think it's just like, take it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take it. Also, contract up for renewal at the end of the season
Yeah, it just makes sense all round for that one.
because Sutton's extended, but Camish hasn't, and this is the end of his 3-year deal.
And on that
3 years,
note,
wow.
I really do think Camish should move.
If the opportunity arises, because
Yes.
there aren't many other paid BTCC gigs at the minute.
They're not, but I just think when he's in the same team as Ash, he's going to be second,
Yeah.
sadly.
You,
No
exactly.
matter how good he is.
But where else would you go?
Yeah.
Someone can buy out the old Civics and bring them back.
I would like someone, wishful thinking, to sponsor that team to make the new shape Civics. But it's not going to happen.
I don't think I like the new Civics, to be honest.
Well, yeah, me too, but it's just would be nice to see some new metal, and maybe they can rebuild them with a better weight distribution and be more competitive, in terms of not from the road car, because actually, underneath, Colin, they're the same still. It's just a new body and a new interior.
Oh, has
new
it
engine.
got a really squeaky front right brake, kind of annoying rattle on the dashboard, and an alarm that went off the other week when I was driving home from Aldi, which
Oh,
was
not again.
deafening me, and I couldn't get the blooming thing to stop.
I think that might be just yours.
Is it just mine? Right, okay. I love my car, but
Have you got an
my-
XJ Edwards one?
Oh my
Yeah.
god! I think Andy Needs had a few bashes at the end at one point. So yeah, I need to go get my car checked.
Swindon's finest.
Yeah. So, Colin Turkington then starts dropping away. Ingram puts a move on him at the chicane, makes it stick, and then Jake Hill, Josh Cook get past as well. Ingram then tries to go around outside of Morgan. Morgan then runs into him, and he has to mega cut the chicane, and he takes a position and keeps it. Keeps it this time.
What do you think about
This time
I
for
think-
me, I think that's fair.
Yeah, Morgan understeered into him. I think that's fair enough at that point.
that? We should say as well that Ingram's doing that outside manoeuvre like 3 times in this race,
Yeah.
which he obviously perfected from the first 2 races, and finally was able to pull off 3 amazing ones.
Yeah, it was just for me that is that he was making the corner until Morgan wasn't. So therefore, he's then entitled to skip the chicane.
I mean, I'm not calling foul play per se, but it's for the podium on the penultimate lap, so Morgan's giving it some.
Yeah, definitely.
And then we suddenly cut to Nick Halstead's car, which is in bits, and then we never hear or see
No.
about it again.
I've seen nothing on any websites, nothing.
I just searched on Twitter Nick Halstead, and it was like nothing came up. I was
Yeah.
like, I had to rewind back and say, was it Nick Halstead that crashed? Like, there's nobody's mentioned it, and it was, but so they never showed the replay. No one's caught it on a phone or anything. So I have no idea what happened to Nick, but
It must have
smashed
been-
his car to bits.
Must have been outside the back of the circuit.
I would think
Goodwood
so,
Village,
just because
before church.
the cars are all generally finishing, and then it cut to that. So it's got to be like you say, Goodwood Church area. From how
Yeah,
far
where there's no
back he was.
spectators. Because the spectators end
Mhm.
at like Seagrave, I think. And they don't start again until the entry to the final club chicane. You can't actually view the race out the back.
Mhm. Well, just to continue in this slightly vaguely professional way, Scott Sumpton, he finished 16th. Yeah, that was about it. It's tightening up in the championship as well.
Oh yeah, let's look at that. So we've got Sutton now back in the lead again, because I think, did Hill retake it after race 2? I'm not sure.
I think so. It normally.
But look how close it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look how close it is.
Yeah.
What I do love is that the new rules were brought in so that you would not
Yeah, I
have a race winner the same between race 1 and race 2, and every round so far it's been a same race winner
Yep.
and race 1 and
Initially, it wasn't the case for this round, was it?
No, exactly.
2. No.
But it was in the end. Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed race 3. The first 2 races were a bit dry by BTCC standards. The season as a whole has been very enjoyable for me, though.
Yes, and also if you haven't watched the mini races.
Oh, really? I have not.
Ah,
I watched the Legend race from Brands.
Yeah. No, the minis, I've still got to watch a couple of them myself, but the first one I watched, which was the multi-class minis, where you got 2 lots, that was brilliant.
Yeah, Andy Jordan won in one of the races.
He did. But
Oh, was he back out again?
Mhm.
Yeah, nice. Still got it.
yeah, all 3
like to see him
Jordans
back
were
in
racing in the minis in different classes.
Mike as
His
well.
brother
Yeah,
was
Mike.
doing his first race, wasn't he?
Yep. Is it
Oh, really?
Bradley Jordan, I think it was,
Oh, I'm not sure.
and Andy Jordan. But Mike Jordan, do you want spoilers for the race?
Yeah, go on.
I think he was 6th or 7th going into the final chicane on the first lap, and he came out first.
Wow.
Just went round the outside of everyone. But yeah,
I'll definitely watch that then.
but yeah, it was one of those races, like the classic old school Thruxton thing, where every time you cut back to the drivers, they're in different positions. They're slipstreaming all over the place. It's great fun.
I bought the wrong Autosport issue digitally. Oh well. Supporting journalism.
Yeah, I did buy one the other week, and your review was in it, wasn't it? For
Oh yeah,
Mm.
yeah, that's right. Still, the companies behind the scenes have separated, but still, hopefully, occasionally contributing the odd game review. Next one will be F1 Manager, but I think my colleague Ross will be doing that, maybe. And I've got my days wrong because it's not out till tomorrow at the time of recording.
Well,
I bought last week's.
I looked up his race report, and it doesn't mention Nick Halstead for race 3.
On the website,
He does mention something about in the final lap, Ingram appearing to slow down, and then Morgan and Hill running at the back of him to try and redress the situation from him cutting the chicane. But I don't actually remember seeing that, so I'm just going off his report.
I don't.
I don't either.
So yeah, that's it. Ash Sutton's back in the lead of the championship, got his first win of the year. He's got a 5-point lead over, I think it's Jake Hill. And
Hill.
Ingram's
Yep.
not too far behind either at this point.
Quiet week for Turkington, though, means things have sort of separated out a bit for him.
Mm.
After a strong start to the year, then Hill's just switched on all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
think
Josh drops further back.
there's still 6 people for me in this fight at the
I agree.
moment, but
Just.
depends what happens at the next round.
Yep. So next up's Alton Park, 23rd of June, and on the same day there's also the Spanish Grand Prix. So
Mm-hmm.
we may have a double episode that week, which would be good. But Alton Park's up next.
Love a bit of
Yeah.
Alton Park.
Love Alton Park. I mean, in latter years, it's not provided the most exciting, exhilarating races, but it's just a wonderful track to watch cars drive around.
Mm-hmm.
It's one I do want to go to. I think
Yeah, it's great for spectating.
it looks like a great track to
Well-
to watch.
Went last year for Father's Day, and it was a perfectly sunny day, which helps. Apart from the third race, it maybe could have rained, but it kind of didn't.
Mm.
And you can view any corner you want perfectly. And
Yeah.
there was a lot of people there, but it didn't feel overwhelmingly busy. It just felt like, oh, this is a great day out.
Mm.
So anyone who's going to Alton, enjoy it.
Yep, it's the last race before the summer break. It's a 4-week gap, so Alton Park will be your last one until the end of July. And as I say, F1's at Spain, which I hate. But who knows? It's starting to close up at the top. McLaren, of course, Ferrari, of course, occasionally, and Mercedes closed down at Canada. So that might be a nice, interesting one. And it's back to back for the F1 as well. So you go Spain, then Austria on the 30th, and then you're straight to Silverstone on the 7th of July. So we've got 3 races in a row coming up.
Yeah, which would be good.
Cool.
All right. Any more for you guys?
No, I think
Nope.
that's covered.
Okay, so we
It's just good to be back in the podcasting game.
yeah,
Indeed.
So we will be back for Alton Park definitely, and hopefully we'll do a little F1 catch up as well since we've been slacking on that. But it's started to get good again, so we'll have things to talk about.
Let's see. Barcelona makes
Yeah,
sense.
it's a terrible track, but it's going soon, isn't it? It's going to be is it a Madrid street circuit?
Yeah, that's right. That's
So,
Which could be worse. Could be better.
yeah,
right.
who knows? All right, so thanks guys, and we'll see you next week. 2 weeks. Bye.
Yep.
Thank
See you
you.
later.
Bye. Good luck with the edit.